Hello guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel guys. It's underscore Jackie 62 guys. And today guys, I'm going to be welcoming you to this off the market property guys that we're getting ready to relist. And today I'm going to be letting you know about some of the do's and the don'ts and the advantage and the disadvantage of if you're selling a property as far as choosing the right real estate agent. Guys, this property has been on the market for I think it's over a year. And the reason why we have not sold the property is um, because most of it is the agent that we hired. For one, the agent did not want to take professional photos. And we've worked with the agent before. We've told her, people are complaining about the pictures. The pictures are not looking good. She kept on saying, oh, you know, the pictures look okay, blah, blah, blah. But we're still getting complaints about pictures. That was number one problem. The second problem we had was she was getting too comfortable, too lazy, okay? She would get all kinds of offer just keep flowing in. Even though some of them were not the right offer, she still by law have to let us know about the offers so we can make an informed decision about it. Okay, she was getting all kinds of ridiculous offers, and we had three buyers that was lining up to buy this particular property here. And they would have contact her. She would play games and she would not get back in touch with them for like about a couple of days. People don't have time to wait when they're buying a property. When they spot a property on the market and they want a property and they keep contacting the agent saying, look, we're interested in a property, whether it's hard money or money from the lender or whether they're cash buyers or anything like that, they don't want to look around. She claiming that they were resellers for the property, and she thought that they didn't have the money. They wanted was to sell the property first before the property, before the closing date. And it was just a bunch of stuff that was going on with this particular property. In the meantime, guys, this is not a property that we live at. This is not our primary residence. This is our investment property. This is a duplex, first floor, second floor. That's been remodeling and we're still doing work. It's 90% of the work is done. But when you don't live at a property, it is so difficult to travel back and forth and, to do all kinds of stuff. So we thought we could just rely on this agent to sell this property. And like I said, this property could have been sold. We been on a couple contracts before. One contract, one lady saying that, she was buying it from Canada. She didn't see it in person by herself, but she sent her agent to take a video tour of the property while she was on the phone. She said this is a property that she wanted. She write up the contract, she put her deposit in, everything. They did title searches and everything like that. At the last minute, when she was supposed to sign at closing, she came back and said something was wrong with her husband in Canada. So I don't know how true that was. So we just a lot of hit and miss when it comes on to this property, guys. But anyways, guys, if you guys are in a position like this, like if you have properties that you're dealing with, like if you're of investment property that you're investing money in and you're working, to try to get the property up to, sellable, to where it can be sold, I would advise you with a property like this, if you're doing, if you're not living there and it's investment property and you're not putting it under Section 8 or you don't want to rent it, okay, you just want to fix it and flip it. I would advise you guys, do your research, do your comparisons, even though you don't have to wait for a real estate agent to help you do a comparison. You can do a comparison, compare the prices and the sales that have sold in the last 30 days, what's been selling every month. You can do all of that to see if it's a property that you want to go and invest all of your money in. As for example, you don't want to buy a property for $20,000, right? You get just claim that you get a deal. You might be thinking that you're getting a deal for $20,000, right? You have another $20,000 to put in. And by the time you put that other $20,000, that's $40,000 already. And then when you put it on the market, you realize you're not going to be able to get no more than $65,000 for it. That's just an example. So if you're planning an investment, doing an investment property, make sure you do your research. Make sure it's good to buy properties. You can never go wrong with properties. You have to check out the neighborhoods because when you see a home, when you see there's a lot of homes in a neighborhood for sales, right? For sale, unusually amount, right? And you see boarded up house and you see all that stuff. You really have to study the market. It's kind of good. In some cases, it's very good if you're trying to do Section 8 because you can fix it up to a point, make sure you do all the windows, driveways, you know, basement flooring, everything like that. Because when you're putting a property under Section 8, Section 8 is going to send their inspectors and they're going to inspect everything. The kitchen sink got to be working, the knobs got to be working, the bathroom, the showers got to be working, you know, the water tank has to be working, the furnaces have to be working, the floors got to be okay, the carpeting got to be okay, you know. So when you're dealing with Section 8, you have to be very, very careful. Now if you're fixing and flipping, that's a different story. Then you have more room if you have money to put in that property if the property is worth you putting that money in. But if the property is not worth you putting the money, and for instance, you buy a property in a neighborhood where there was a lot of cheap homes and stuff like that, it probably would probably be a better idea if you just flip it back right away. You know, do a little bit of work, paint it up, clean it up, you know, take out because normally those homes are always trash. Have a lot of garbage in there, you know, lots of funny business. The sink is not there, the bathroom sink's not there, the furnaces are not there, no stove, no refrigerator. So you gotta know what you're doing. But sometimes it is worth fixing those properties, like I said, if you take your time and you do the research. Now, guys, before you buy properties, right? If you're buying it on your own or you're probably doing a quick claim deed, it's three type of deeds, guys. You got warranty deed, okay, which is the one that they give you with a title, you know, title insurance. That's warranty deed. You got quick claim deed. That's the one that you don't have to go to a title company. But to do a quick claim deed, you have to be very careful. You have to do your research on your own to make sure they don't have any liens on the properties, right? And to make sure nobody's not coming to get the property. Make sure that there's not a mortgage on the property that they didn't pay for. The government is not, you know, condemning the property. You just have to make sure when you're doing a quick claim deed, you go to the recorder's office, you take your time and you do a search. You don't have to always go to real estate agent and title company if you know what you're doing. You can do that on your own. It's a little bit time consuming. I've done it before. I've sold homes and buy homes through quick claim deed all the time. And there's also another deed that is called addendum deed. That's the type of deed that maybe somebody was trying to steal your home before, you took it up on your head and you went to and you tried to get it back on your own and it was given back to you, and the way how they recorded the deed at the recorder's office, they might give you an addendum deed. So it's three types of deed, guys, so just be careful. Anyways, now if you're talking about, I want to tell you the difference between, if you're using a real estate agent, the difference between a seller's agent and a buyer's agent is very, very important that you understand these two. Okay? Very important. So, guys, the understanding the difference between buyer's agent and seller's agent. I have to Google this because it's just too much. Okay, using a great agent for buying or selling home can turn a difficult and headache into a lovely process and positive. Okay? If you are ready to buy or sell, you might wonder what type of agent to hire and what benefit they bring. Buyer's agent, okay? Both buyers and sellers agent have distinct roles. Had what? Hold on, let's see. It's so dark in here. Okay, so it says buyers and sellers, okay, have a distinct role that not only help you find or sell a suitable property, but also advise you on legal and financial considerations and in okay negotiations and lead you through all the necessary paperwork. Let's learn how these two types of agent often differ from each other, from the services they provide to their associated fees, while also examining some of the benefits they offer when buying or selling. With the right agent, you can keep the real estate process moving smoothly. What is a buyer's agent? A buyer's agent is a real estate agent who represents the interests of the buyer in a transaction as opposed to a seller's agent or a listing agent. For example, when purchasing a home, a buyer's agent might negotiate with the seller or listing agent on their client's behalf to get them the best possible deal. Buyer's agent work exclusively for buyers to ensure their interests are protected through the entire process. They can help locate properties available for sale, arrange showings and viewings, advise on market trends, and provide guidance from start to finish. They also have exclusive access to resources such as off the market listing. Buyer's agent can assist in finding homes that suits their client needs and references more quickly than if they were searching alone. Now, let's look at what is a seller's agent. A seller's agent, also known or as a listing agent. Okay, so if you want to sell your home, you hire somebody to list your home. That's a seller's agent. Works on behalf of the individual or entity that has placed a home on the market with the intention of selling it. The primary responsibility of the person to secure a buyer for the house and negotiate a deal in favor of their client. A seller's agent will typically use a variety of marketing methods to attract potential buyers to the property. This might include advertising in print, online, hosting open houses, and networking with other real estate professionals. The agent will also work closely with their client to determine the most advantageous asking price for the home and manage the entire process from start to finish, including the inspection, paperwork, and closing. Finally, the agent will provide advice and guidance to the seller, helping them to understand the process and make the most advantageous decision for their situations. Okay, so now you know the difference between a buyer's agent and a seller's agent. Okay, so anyways, guys, This what I'm working on here is my property is an off the market property. What it means when you see off the market, it means that the property been on the market for a while and it has not sold. So when you start to search the MLS system, the multiple listing system is called, you will see a sign that says off the market, which simply means this property did not sell. So when you search for it, you're going to see off the market. And some people like to go to different owners and say, wow, this is an off the market property. Let's rush at this property because we might get a good deal. But it's just not always like that. Sometimes it's different why when a home does not sell. Sometimes it's the owner of the home will take it off the market sometimes to do work to the property, and sometimes she just don't like the agent. The agent is not representing her property. The seller's agent is not representing her property, so she might take it off the market. And sometimes she might not get a good deal at the time, so the listings has expired. So it could be a number of reasons why a property gets off the market. The listing might have been expired, or the owner sometimes take it off the market, and sometimes disagreements between the agent and sellers and all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, guys, let's look at this property here. This is my property here. It's an off the market property. Like I said, that just got expired of the multiple listing system because the agent that I hired was not doing a good job. So if you can see here, this is the kitchen floor. This is a kitchen cabinet right there, okay? And inside of this door is the pantry. I'm not going to move the ladder, but I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough. This is a room here that had the carpet put in last year, brand new carpeting, but we had plastic on the floor. So I decided that now I'm getting ready to relist it with another agent, and the photographer, they have professional photographers this time. So I've taken off the plastic off of the floor because my husband was doing work and dirt keeps coming in, so we took the plastic off the floor, and now I'm sweeping the carpet off to make it look good so it can look presentable for picture professional pictures that we're going to be taking on Thursday. Here's the bathroom, guys. It's Most of it is finished completely. It's a full finished bathroom. Look at it. It's got the sink, it's got the toilet, got the floors. But my husband had to take this tub surround from around here because the inspector at the time, he did not want three handle. He wanted this one handle thing. So my husband replaced the one handle here, and he took the tub surround from around the tub. So now we have to do caulking and a little bit of stuff. But this agent that we're working with was saying that if we're not planning, if we want to sell it real quick, we should not be dumping a lot of money in the property if we want to sell it real quick. You know what I mean? Because we're not living here. We're trying to move um, to another state. So we're trying to make sure everything looks good. See the carpet, how nice the carpet look. The walls got painted, fresh paint on the wall, and everything else. There's another unit upstairs, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to take you upstairs to that other unit, but it looks the same way. Maybe another day I'll do a separate video for that, but I just wanted was to show you what we did so far. Let me check my microphone to see if it's still on. Yes. So, guys, so that's what you have to look into. If you're going through something like this, you have to make sure any business that you're doing, whether you're an investor like myself or any kind of business that you're doing, you have to make sure you pay attention to everything what's people doing. And sometimes not because they're a real estate agent, you really have some unscrupulous people. This real estate agent that I had for over a year, she was getting a lot of people. There was a lot of inquiry. There was even people from Russia was inquiring. But she didn't want, sometimes it would take her Like she didn't move right away. She was one of them type. She didn't move right away. She was older. I wouldn't say she was an old lady, but she was older. And if you would call her, sometimes she would say, well, yes, I'll come, but I'm a bit busy in the next 3 days. When people are buying a home, they don't want to hear none of that stuff. Okay. They want to know that, look, they want to be able to see this property. If you can't show it to me, can I get a lockbox or something? She didn't offer us for us to put a lockbox on here. This is for the furnace that we put in. So thermostat, new thermostat. So just wanted to make sure the electrical is brand new and this property, the kitchen, I love the kitchen. Okay. But what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting on some nice kitchen, what do you call those fixtures on it to open up the doors and stuff. All of this, none of this was here, guys. None of this. This floor was not here either. The carpet was not there. We did a lot of work to this property. So now I'm going to go outside. Before I end this video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you what we did out here. We did floors here. And look, this is what we did. This is new flooring right here. So yeah, new flooring. All of this is all new flooring. See the front yard? Yeah, so you can see those are lilies right there. This is new gas meters. Yes. And my husband did a lot of work to this property. Let me go around and see if I can show you the outside of the property before I close the video. So I can show you. I guess that's the property right there. So it's nice. You go to lilies. These are lilies. These are not tulips. And this is what it looks like. It's a nice property. Yes, it's a nice property, guys. Anyways, guys, if you like, there's a school right there, quiet street. If you like what I'm showing you up the street, big tree right there. Like, subscribe, and comment. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Okay? And hope you enjoy this video. Leave comments, sweet comments, negative comments, whatever you didn't like about the video. Leave your comments.